What's up, everybody? Chase here with LittleMind.com, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about going MARSOC. And this one is about my thoughts for you guys that are thinking about going and trying out, or are not even in the military yet and are wanting to do MARSOC. Watch the rest of this video through, and if you're wanting to hear my exact experience about going MARSOC and that whole process I went through this past August and September, go ahead and watch that video. I'll leave a link up here to the video. As well as if you're thinking about joining the military and are not in yet, obviously I'll leave videos that I had previously done about which military branch you should choose and which job you should ultimately go into. So MARSOC is a specific way in order to get good qualified candidates in order to become critical skills operators or raiders. And in order to be a part of or try out, in order to be selected, you have to be in the Marines already. So if you're still thinking about joining the military and are thinking about joining straight for MARSOC, that's a false misconception, because you have to spend at minimum a year to 2 years already within the Marine Corps before going to try out. And you have to be at least a Lance Corporal. And if you're a sergeant and are running out of time like I was, obviously you have to have no more than 2 years time and grade as a sergeant in order to go try out. So anywhere within that 2 years or less, you can still try out. I would definitely recommend trying out as soon as possible, just because you're not going to be ready whenever you decide to go. So ultimately all the guys that do go are prep as much as possible but are not fully ready. And the good thing is, if you not or drop for any reason during phase 1, obviously you can always go back second time. But if you do make it to phase 2, and you're going to not be able to go back. So like, I'm not going to be able to go back just because I got out of the Marines too. But if I was still in, I was not going to be able to go back just because I've already made it too far, and I would have had an upper advantage compared to guys that haven't been yet. So that is a specific reason why MARSOC likes to take guys that are already in. Now, if you're thinking about going and you're within that time frame of a year or 2 time in service, definitely talk to the recruiter. Obviously, they're going to fill you in as much information as possible, because most of the time they are or were raiders. And obviously there are active duty raiders that are recruiters that will help you and give you as much information as possible. But the best advice I can give is, if you're thinking about it, go try it out. You will not regret your decision on going to try out. It's a fun time. Obviously there's a lot of good guys, and it's a fun process. It's a long process too, but in the end it's ultimately something that you'll look back on and are glad that you had the opportunity to go do. If you know people that have went to assessment and selection and got selected or didn't get selected, just ask them simple questions about what it was like, what their process was like, their thoughts as well. Like, most of the time you'll get mixed reviews, so don't take that too serious in making that kind of skew your decision of not going or going. Obviously, if you're thinking about it, definitely go try it out. More thoughts about MARSOC. I obviously like that it is set up a specific way, that they only want mature candidates. Trying out is great, because obviously they do not want to take people right off the street joining the Marines, and trying out for MARSOC just because MARSOC wants good qualified guys. Obviously, go look into other branches. They have special operations that you can join right off the bat before going in, and that would be your specific job you're trying out for, like the Air Force, Navy, or Army. Army obviously has the Green Berets, which is very similar to MARSOC. They still do different things. They still operate in different areas and stuff like that. And so definitely do your research with which branch of special operations you're deciding to go to, and then prep as much as possible. The best way to ultimately decide that path for special operations is to go try it out, or if you have to wait like MARSOC, is to get into a good job field that would most benefit you in the long run, to set yourself up to being selected at assessment and selection. So if you're going into the Marines, obviously think about going recon. That's my number one route I would recommend for everybody that's wanting to go MARSOC and be a Raider, is become a recon Marine, just because they have all the skills that translate directly to what MARSOC would be doing. Other than that, infantry is good. Infantry is still kind of hit or miss. They'll take good guys, they'll take not so good guys, but the infantry will give you guys a lot of good experience to bring to the table when you go to try out. And I feel like that's a good option if you're not able to go recon as well. Obviously, a lot of recon drops go to regular infantry, and then retry out in the future, or try MARSOC out in the future. But they're all different mission sets, but recon would be the best option to prep you for that. Other jobs outside of those two are obviously great, just because MARSOC wants solid guys coming from different areas and are knowledgeable in different areas and different jobs. And with those guys that are in weird jobs like air crew or airfield, whatever it may be, like legal, administrative, they want qualified guys just because, or guys in different jobs, just because they have probably the biggest desire to be there compared to some of the infantry guys, just because a lot of the infantry guys have had a lot of bad experiences within that realm of work, just because there's a lot going on within the infantry that makes it kind of bad. I mean, or suck in general. But most of the time I saw when going to assessment and selection, most of the guys that really wanted to be there wanted to prove to themselves and everyone around them that they could do it, and ultimately they had some of the biggest desire to be there and ultimately performed really well. So if you're just thinking about getting in the Marines in order to go try out whatever job that you think you would love to do, in the meantime, definitely go do that. Do not take my word to go recon or infantry. Obviously, there are other great jobs you can do before going and trying out for MARSOC. I really like MARSOC just because MARSOC is doing a lot of great things out there that many people that do not know about, even in the Marines as well as the general public. Most of the general public does not know what MARSOC stands for and what Marine Special Operators do. That said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave some comments below and I'll make sure to message you back about your specific questions or anything related to MARSOC. Enjoyed it and want to see more videos like this, or if you have other topics you want to see, leave a comment below again. And don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't already, I'm making sure to hone down on making videos almost every day of the week. So if you want to be updated, make sure you subscribe to the channel.